The MR Oncology workflow is used for reading oncology cases which cover multiple body regions, from reading head cases up to reading the whole body and also MR PET cases. During the reading process, you can identify, describe and report malignant and suspected lesions, and you can also compare them with prior studies. To evaluate images, they need to be assigned to the specific MR Onco workflow template. In the Patient Navigator, right-click the desired study, select Assign Workflow, and then select MR Oncology. The selected study is assigned to the corresponding workflow. When the status is ready to read, simply double-click on it. The patient data will be loaded in the MR Oncology workflow. For reading onco cases, the MR Oncology reading step comprises one reading step by default. The images are opened in an easy reading layout. The easy layout enables you to go through all available images efficiently. In the Case Navigator, the single click on Series Navigator is enabled to allow one-click loading of images from the Series Navigator by default. Open the Series Navigator where the thumbnails view is activated by default and click on a thumbnail. The series will automatically be loaded. Navigate through your series by clicking on the thumbnails. Alternatively, the keyboard arrow keys can be used in the same way. To view different series side by side in order to compare different contrasts together, also from different time points, you can use the right-click drag and drop with the layout adaptation functionality. Select multiple series you are interested in by clicking with the left mouse button while holding the control button down, like you would do in Windows for multiple selection, and moving the images to the image area with the right mouse button pressed. Then release the mouse button and select the Image Display option. When the option Replace All Series is selected, the layout will automatically adapt to the number of series you have selected, and all series will be loaded in the different segments in the order you have selected. For example, if 3 series have been selected, the layout will consist of 4 segments. The loaded series will be marked with blue text in the Series Navigator. With the 3D reference points, shortcut R, all series will be synchronized. In a dual monitor setup, the 2 monitors are handled separately. Hint: if multiple series are already displayed and one series will be loaded with Replace All, then only one segment will be shown. To replace the content of the selected segment, just click on the series in the Series Navigator, where you must use the single click option. To replace the content of any segment, use the left-click drag and drop functionality. Drag and drop a selected series into this segment with the left mouse button, or use the right-click drag and drop functionality. Move the series to the image area with the right mouse button pressed. Release the mouse button and select Image Display option Replace. Only the content of the segment where the images are dropped will be replaced. You can disable the single-click interaction if you do not need this functionality. Example, if you usually work with multiple series. If one series is loaded in a segment, it is easily possible to fuse it with a second series. Example, to evaluate the increase or decrease in the size of a tumor. Select the series that you would like to fuse in the Series Navigator. Move it into the desired image segment with the right mouse button pressed. Release the mouse button and select the Fuse option. Right-click, drag and drop. The 2 series will be fused automatically. You can recognize this by the image text. To visualize the fusion, move the mouse into the right lower corner and change the LUT for one series, or use the keyboard shortcut for the selected LUT color. With Create 2D Stack, all selected series will be loaded one after the other in one and the same segment. Select multiple series by holding down the Control button from the Series Navigator, as in Windows. Move the series to the image area with the right mouse button pressed, release the mouse button, and select the Image Display option Create 2D Stack. All selected series will load in the selected image segment one after the other. To group multiple series from different time points in one segment, use the Create 4D Dynamics option. Select multiple series from the same anatomy level but different time points, for example, from different phases in dynamic studies. From the Series Navigator by holding the Control key pressed, moving the series to the image area with the right mouse button pressed, releasing the mouse button and selecting the Image Display option Create 4D Dynamics. You can scroll through the images and the time points with the keyboard arrow keys. Scroll up or down through space and through time points with the left and right arrow keys. If multiple studies of a patient from different time points are evaluated, for example, from a prior and a current examination, load the prior study in addition to the currently loaded study by opening Add Study in the Series Navigator and then loading the prior study. To display series from both studies, select the interesting series from the current and the prior study by holding the Control button pressed, using a right-click drag and drop to the image area, and then selecting the Image Display option Replace All. All series will be loaded in the display area and can now be compared. An automatic registration is performed to help you in the comparison. Use 3D reference point shortcut R. For your reading, use the options available in the corner menus. For example, scroll through the images, measure distances, create findings, and all the tools which are available for saving results. For example, save screenshots, print, create reports. For comparison and evaluation, for example, of the tumour dimension in current and prior studies, you can mark a lesion and evaluate the changes in the Findings Navigator. Measure the tumour with a distance line at the same anatomical level in the current and the prior study. Two findings will be created. For comparison, select the distance in the current study and the corresponding distance in the prior study. With the Control button pressed, select Track Selected Onco Findings from the Context menu. The prior finding is then removed from the Findings Navigator, as it is now related to the current finding. Open the finding details to evaluate the change in the tumour. All this information will be inserted in the final report. Open the report to finalize your reading.